All right, what's up, guys? My name's Alan. I'm a tenant here at the 52, and I'm also a personal trainer, certified personal trainer. I've had my certification for around a decade, and my brother's here visiting from Dallas, so I'm gonna take him through a little workout and show him the fitness facilities here at the property. So I'm gonna go pick him up. He's staying in one of the inspired guest suites, and I'm gonna get a little workout in.
What's up?
What's up? What's going on?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Ready to work out?
I'm ready. You ready?
Let's get it.
We're about to do a pull workout.
Okay.
So it's gonna be all back and biceps. Guys, this is my brother Jay, by the way.
Hello.
Say hello.
It's big.
Yeah. So this around, it's a little bit over 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
It's all on one floor. We can start walking over here just so I can show you around a little bit. So here we got pretty much all your traditional cardio equipment, the Stairmasters, treadmills, ellipticals. Over here, they all look out over the pool, which is really cool. And then the majority of this equipment is all through Life Fitness. So that's hammer strength machines and then also Life Fitness branded things. And then there are a few pieces of equipment that, such as these that are more functional fitness equipment.
Yeah, I've never used any of that.
Yeah, that's the type of equipment you would typically see in like CrossFit gyms.
Okay.
And things of that nature. Kettlebells, medicine balls, you got your Swiss balls, Bozus, plyo boxes, you got some fixed barbells over there, and then
All the free weights.
yeah, free weights. We got dumbbells over here. I made sure to have them go from 5 all the way up to 100. So anyone that's like a seasoned lifter or really wants to put on some heavy weight, then they can do that. Then we also have a half rack with bumper plates and a platform, so you can do your squats, deadlifts, bench, and all those things here. Then you have like your typical multi-purpose towers that you would see in gyms.
Right.
So we have one of those right here, and then one also right here. I want to make sure that people feel though that they can walk in here and be comfortable in this environment. I mean, this should be a safe space. And really the culture that we want to build here is, when people come to this gym, we want them to be able to feel supported. And, you should be able to come here at any level, whether you're a novice or someone that's been lifting and working out for like 30, 40 years. What I focus on the most is like the range of motion. And the big stretch, and making sure that eccentric is controlled.
Right.
And by the eccentric phase, I mean
Going
when your
away.
muscle, right? When your muscle is stretched out the
Right.
most. The concentric, meaning when it's shorting. Yeah. Nice, slow, eccentric. Good. Good.
How long is this gym open? Does it have hours?
So, being a tenant here, you have 24/7 access to it. So you're able to come at any time that you want. Which is obviously really really nice to be able to do. So yeah, you can come at any time, and obviously what's great about this gym specifically is that, I mean, this is more comparable to a commercial gym than what you would typically see in a residential gym.
Definitely.
So I think a lot of the intention behind designing the gym this way is we really wanted to create a community where no one had to go anywhere. Right? Where, their commercial gym or a gym that you would typically get a membership at, you wouldn't have to do that because that's right here.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And I think the beautiful thing about the 52 and this property in general is just you're able to have this gym, and then you also have access to Inspire's gym.
So you get both.
You get both gyms.
No matter where
you live, whether you're in Evolve, Thrive, or Inspire, you have access to both gyms.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're a little bit different. There's certainly some similarities, but they're a little bit different, and we'll go check that out a little bit later in the workout. So that was obviously a vertical pull.
Okay.
And now we're going to be focusing on a horizontal pull. This is
get this guy.
yeah, this is the plate-loaded equipment that we spoke about a little bit earlier. You kind of have to you bend it down, and then it's able to move freely through here. I typically like to sit up pretty high on this because I like to be able to reach for the furthest handle.
Yeah.
The reason for that is kind of back to what we were talking about over there, is making sure that I'm having a big stretch during this movement, because I want to be able to work through a full range of motion.
Do you have advice for like an average Joe like me? You know, like say I come in here, I'm a tenant, and I see this type of machine.
Absolutely.
You know, what advice do you have to them for encouraging them to try something that I've never done or that they've never done? Because this is going to be new for me.
This equipment, there's like a bit of a visual to show you how to use the equipment and what it's actually working, what muscles it's engaging. At the same time, I think one of the things that you want to make sure that you do is don't feel afraid to go to someone that's in here and ask them if they know how to use the equipment. And I think going back to the culture and community that we're trying to build here at the 52, we want it to be very inviting and supporting and encouraging for all gym goers, because we know that people are coming in here and everyone's trying to grow and evolve and better themselves. And I think that's something that should be celebrated and respected by everyone. And I think that you would be surprised that people are more than willing to help out.
Right.
And I know it's scary to ask for help. I mean, I feel like when I started out in the gym, which was a while ago, but it was intimidating.
Definitely.
But I think it's important to ask people for help, although that may seem a bit uncomfortable. But people are willing to help, for sure. Nice control. Good. Nice. Good job.
Holding on to dear life there.
No, that's good.
It's nice being right by the pool.
Oh, it's awesome. It's great.
A little quick dip after the workout.
Yeah, right afterwards. There's a nice grill out there too.
Oh yeah.
So nice place to eat. But yeah, it's a nice setup for sure. For sure. And it's great. You know, obviously being on that cardio equipment over there, just looking out over the pool.
Right.
It's a nice little view. We'll do some dumbbell curls.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with a supinated grip. You can start off kind of neutral and then work your way as you go up to supinated. So supinated is your hands like this, your palm is toward you, is toward your body. This is a neutral grip, so that we'll be using that for our hammer curls.
Okay.
And this is a pronated grip, but this we're not going to be doing today, and that's more for your forearms.
Okay. Now, I don't know if we touched on it, but there's units above us.
Yes. There are units above us, which is nice because they actually have a balcony that looks off over the pool,
That's cool.
Which is really nice. And then obviously it's great because it's really convenient because you have access to this. You could just walk down the stairs and come right into the gym.
Right.
But yes, there are townhome units above us.
And they don't hear us working out, or do they?
No, so they don't hear us working out, which is good.
Right.
Obviously. There is some soundproofing in here to help with the acoustics and everything, so they should be just fine. But yes, to answer that question, there are units above us. So
that's nice.
All right, we'll move into hammers now.
Let's do it.
You feel good so far?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm actually gonna try going up. You inspired me. No pun intended.
I'll be honest, I've never seen plate-loaded equipment in any type of residential gym.
Right. I mean, just
that I've ever lived in. Right?
Like when I would work out at Planet Fitness, you know, they got a lot of machines, which is great.
Yes.
But I've never seen that.
Right. So we wanted that to stand out, and I think it is very unique. So I think it will be a really great amenity as people continue to move into these townhomes and see the property. I think it'll be a really great amenity. And I think, and hopefully, that leads to some leases,
Right.
Because that'll be big. That'll be big. All right, so we'll move back into supinated grip.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish I had a gym like this. I feel like one, it's close. Two, it's free, right?
It's free.
It's crazy.
It's free.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice little home gym. So with the gyms, do you guys offer like personal training, private training, public classes, stuff like that? Or is it just you come here, get your stuff done, and you go?
So we actually have different programming coming in the future, in the coming months.
Okay.
So we'll start offering classes, and we'll also start offering personal training. And I may be involved in that as well.
Hey.
So I think that's another benefit of obviously being a tenant here, is that yes, you have access to these commercial style gyms, but then you also have access to potentially getting personal training here. Nice. and being able to participate in classes. And then hopefully, I think with all of those things being offered, you can create some sort of community.
For sure.
Right. And I think that's what's most important. I think you want to be able to live somewhere where you have a supportive community around you. And I feel like that's what we're really trying to foster here at the 52. And a lot of that I feel like can be through health and wellness.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, I think that's great. Good way to get the people together.
Exactly. Yeah, so these last two sets will be the last part of the strength training portion of the workout, and then we'll move into some more high intensity interval stuff. Which shouldn't be anything too serious, but I did want to show you, because you haven't really been in there, I did want to show you the Inspire gym.
Okay.
So we'll drive back over there, and then we'll do that second part of the workout at the Inspire gym.
Sounds
just so
good.
You can check that out.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a different feel.
Okay.
It's actually 3 stories, so it's 3 floors. You have the first floor, which is pretty much basically your, I would say, strength training equipment. So your free weights, a lot of machines, but the machines there are all selectorized machines.
Okay.
So are you familiar with
like the
where you put the pen? Yeah, exactly, just like this. So those are selectorized machines, no plate-loaded machines over there. So that's the first floor. Second floor, more of your functional fitness equipment, things that you would find in a CrossFit gym. So you got your rowing ergs, ski ergs, air bikes, things of that nature. Third floor is your traditional cardio equipment.
Okay.
Treadmills, ellipticals, right, things like that. So we'll head over there and do that second part.
Works perfect. Ready to knock these out?
Yeah, let's get this done.
Would you say there's a main difference, I guess, besides having, I would assume, more cardio at the other gym to here?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's more cardio. I think the biggest difference is the strength training equipment, that is really all selectorized equipment. I think the focal point of this is the plate loaded equipment.
Okay.
I think that's what kind of makes it a bit more unique. This is also all on one floor, right?
Right.
As opposed to the 3 floors that are there.
Okay.
I personally enjoy coming here, just because I feel like I can, add up the weight a little bit and really create a significant amount of resistance for myself in my workouts. But I also go there, kind of depending on what I'm doing that day.
Right. Now it's cool to have an area, at the same place you can go.
Literally, but you can go to both places, and yeah, I think it's great. I feel like you don't really see properties where you would have 2 gyms and two really nice gyms to be able to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll head over there. You'll see it. It's really nice. It's really nice.
I'm excited.
It'll be obviously a bit different than what we've been doing here. So let's go do that.
Let's knock it out. Sure we can't go for a quick dip first?
Yeah. That's good.
Get that. You got it. So it's right here in the lobby.
Right here, first floor.
Same thing, 24 hours.
Yep.
Those are nice.
Yeah, so this was the first gym that was built here.
Okay.
So the Evolve gym's newer, but this is Inspire's gym. Like I said, tenants at Evolve, Thrive, and Inspire all have access to both gyms. So this is the first floor. As you can see up to the second floor.
That's pretty neat.
Right, so this is, like I was saying, the strength training equipment down here. Then you have most of your functional fitness equipment up there. So that's the ski ergs up in that corner. So we're gonna go up there and do our rounds on that. And then the third floor is that traditional cardio equipment I was talking about. But you can see the majority of this equipment, is all selectorized. Right? So ultimately it ends up maxing out at a certain weight. And, but this is also really great equipment. I think it's really convenient because you don't have to get up, take off a plate, and then put it on.
For sure.
And you could just use a pen to select your weight and how much resistance you want. So this is Inspire. But yeah, let's head upstairs. We'll finish up the workout. We'll hop on the ski erg, do a little bit of high intensity interval training.
Are you able to change the TV channels?
You can.
Really?
Yeah, you can. So there are obviously some common, I guess, area TVs here that are around the gym. As you see, in Evolve's gym, there aren't TVs like this, but there are TVs on the traditional cardio equipment. Okay. So you have your own remote, and you're able to access cable on those TVs. So.
All right, let's see what this is all about.
Let's do it. So yeah, as you can see, you got some similar equipment here, like you see the ski erg, you have your rowing ergs here, air bikes, your stationary spin bikes, and then you have a Versa climber over there in the corner. But we're gonna be doing our work right here. So this is the ski erg. This works on a damper. So this damper goes from 10 all the way down to 1, 10 being the hardest setting.
So damper is just your resistance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. and then 1 being the easiest setting. We're gonna do this on 10, and we're gonna be doing 10 calories each. We're gonna be switching off, and we'll do 6 rounds of that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You can start.
It'll be good. But just so you can kind of see how the movement is done,
Right.
I'll have it on 1 right now.
Okay.
This is really like a full body movement. And it's a unique movement because a lot of it has to do with like the feel of it, because it may feel a little bit awkward at first.
All right.
Because you realize it's kind of like you have
Like
to
you're
move
skiing.
your entire body
Okay.
kind of at the same time in unison. And it's a little unique. So I'll allow you to, you can watch me do it, and then I'll let you hop on it just to see how it feels before we get started.
Good with me.
But this is, you know, the point of this is trying to get those 10 calories done as quickly as possible.
Okay. So
Right.
now we're just moving.
Yes. So you are, and obviously my rest and your rest
Will be dependent.
when, yeah, right.
So as fast as I can.
So yeah, you start off up here. I typically like to have like a good solid base, maybe like shoulder width apart. And what a lot of people I think get wrong with this movement is they just try to move their upper body
Okay.
like this.
Right.
You really want to engage your entire body. So you really want to engage your lower body and to really pull down. And as you see, I'm almost doing like a
Full squat.
But you'll kind of get in a rhythm as you
Okay.
go.
I got you.
There you go.
All right, round 1.
Good job. Good. Halfway. Almost. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, that is,
That was it.
that is intense. It's wild.
It's really like a one-stop shop, for sure. I appreciate you doing that with me,
Hey, anytime.
and I'm happy you got a chance to see everything
Yeah.
here.
No, I mean, yeah, you're great. I mean, for an apartment gym,
Yeah,
having 2, having this type of equipment, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I'd kill for this
yeah.
where I live.
You've been working out for, well, like over a decade now,
On and off.
on and off, for sure. But for someone that's maybe new to the gym, what would be like your biggest piece of advice for them? Just because I know everyone really has to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like we were talking about a bit earlier, it can be really intimidating
For sure.
to do. But what would be your biggest piece of advice that you would give to someone that is maybe thinking about getting in the gym, thinking about really wanting to take their health and wellness to the next level?
I think one for myself and one for others. I think the biggest thing is you just got to do it.
Yeah.
It stinks. Like when I stopped working out, like you said, I've been working out for over a decade, but there's been a few years I haven't worked out in that.
Right.
I think the hardest thing for me is just letting my ego go, being okay
Yeah.
with doing the 5s, doing the 10s,
Yeah.
and just trusting that, you know, 1, no one cares,
Yeah.
and 2, that like, yeah, you just gotta start somewhere, and the
Yeah.
more you start, the easier it gets, and that's how it is with me,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
I think it's just so important, it's easier said than done.
It is much easier said than done.
But just start somewhere. And I think, you know, having a personal trainer,
Yeah.
having a friend, having a neighbor.
Yeah.
I think it's just so helpful.
Yeah.
You know, just having help from someone.
Yeah.
And I think having that option here is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
I think that is the difference between, you know, telling yourself you're ready to get in shape and doing it
Yeah.
versus just waiting another year, another
Absolutely.
month, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I think you made two really good points there. One is being your ego. I think that's something that you really have to try to leave at the door when you walk into a gym. I think a lot of high achievers naturally want to look good doing something immediately. And so I think a lot of that does have to do with your ego.
Right.
And being able to kind of strip yourself of that and start as a beginner or a novice. I think the other point you made was having a partner. And I look at more of that as being, you have someone that can hold you accountable, and you can hold that other person accountable. And it makes it much, much easier than doing something alone. I think there are obviously times where you have to get comfortable doing things alone.
Right.
But as a, I guess like a bridge to starting, I think it can be really helpful to do that with someone else. Because it's always really nice to have someone be supportive of you, like on your journey of self-improvement.
Definitely.
And, you know, with this being essentially the start of a new year, I know that a lot of people make health and wellness resolutions.
Right.
And, you know, when it comes to these spaces here and these fitness facilities here, you know, obviously we want to see people use these to achieve all their health and wellness goals that they may have set for themselves in 2025.
Yeah.
And to obviously be willing to reach out to anyone that's around, to say, yeah, like I want help in this area, or I need help doing this. Do you by chance know how to do this over here? Not being afraid to reach out or to maybe interrupt someone during their workout politely and say, can you help me out? And
All right.
thank you. All right, so this is the third floor, which is what I was talking about. You have all of your traditional cardio equipment up here, treadmills, ellipticals, recumbent bikes, arc trainers, which are similar to an elliptical.
Okay.
And then you also have like a little studio where you could go in and potentially take a class on this monitor that's up here, because there's programmed classes in there.
Okay.
And you also have your medicine balls, dumbbells, and some kettlebells in here as well. But for those individuals that may want to get away and kind of just be in their own little space, I think this is a great place to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the third floor of the Inspire Gym. Like I said, you can only get up here by the elevator. So it's not actually connected to the second and first floors. But yeah, this is the last part
All right.
of the gym.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, man. And then also, we talked about the view of the pool. This view up here, when you're sitting on one of these treadmills or recumbent bike, you can you get a nice little view of Mislack Way and part of the property. So you're able to see some of the sculptures that we have on the property, as well as you get a really nice view of Thrive.
That was gorgeous.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah. Gotta leave it off a cliffhanger.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, all
Gotta
that.
hit the like button, hit it now.
Just wanna thank my sponsors.
Yeah.